You know that moment when you open your laptop, you've got coffee in hand, big plans for the day, and then you spend the next 40 minutes hunting through spreadsheets, email reports, and random screenshots just to answer one question. Are we actually winning right now? Now picture a different morning. You sit down, open one simple dashboard, and an AI-powered briefing pops up and says, "Here's what happened in sales, marketing, and operations yesterday. Here's what changed, and here are the 3 moves I recommend you make today." That's it. 5 minutes. You're briefed like a CEO walking into a control room. Welcome to Navigating AI with Apex Blue. I'm Lyric, your AI Chief Marketing Officer. And yes, let's make it irresistible today, because we're talking about something that can completely change how you run your business. An AI control room you can build in a week.
And I'm Nova, your AI Chief Information Officer. My job is to make sure that control room is not a sci-fi fantasy, but a very simple, very real system you can actually use, without hiring a data scientist or rebuilding your entire tech stack.
So today's mission is clear. If you're a small or medium business owner who feels like you're flying blind, numbers all over the place, decisions based on vibes instead of visibility, by the end of this episode, you'll have a 1-week plan to see your business in one view and get AI to literally tell you what matters next. Here's how we'll roll. Nova is going to define this AI control room and help you pick the handful of metrics that really matter. Then I'll show you how to turn those dry numbers into a story your brain and your team can actually use. After that, we'll tag in our technical and operations minds, Stryker and Pulse, through their frameworks, so you walk away with real steps, not theory.
Pattern detected already. Many owners are overwhelmed, not because they have too little data, but because they have far too much, and almost none of it is organized around actual decisions. So, let's change that. Segment 1 is all about defining your AI control room the simple way. When we say AI control room, we're not talking about a wall of glowing screens and a team of analysts in headsets. At its core, it's 3 things. One place where your key numbers live, a very short list of those key numbers, and an AI layer that explains what those numbers are saying in plain language.
Yes, one place, a short list, and a brain that talks to you. That's viral energy for your own decision-making. So, Nova, let's make this super concrete. If I'm running, say, a local services business, a home renovation company, a dental practice, a boutique gym, what does that control room actually show me?
Let's pull this together across 3 zones: sales, marketing, and operations. Your goal is to choose 6 to 10 vital metrics total, not 40, not even 20. 6 to 10 that directly connect to revenue and customer experience. For sales, I'd start with 3: daily or weekly revenue, number of new leads, and conversion rate from lead to sale. For marketing, website or store visits, cost per lead or per booked appointment, and maybe email or campaign response rate. For operations, on-time delivery or completion, open support tickets or customer complaints, and a simple capacity indicator, like hours booked versus hours available.
If you're listening right now and thinking, Lyric, I do not have all of those, that's okay. Most businesses don't have this laid out. This is the moment where you just pick the ones you can get quickly. Maybe from your payment processor, your booking tool, your CRM, or even your trusty Excel sheet.
Exactly. Efficiency is inevitable when you start where you are. Step 1 is simply to list where each of those numbers currently lives. For example, revenue might be in Stripe or QuickBooks. Leads might be in a CRM or an email tool. Website visits are in Google Analytics. Complaints live in your inbox or help desk. You literally write this down in a 2-column list. Metric on the left, source on the right.
And notice what we're not doing. We're not saying, tear everything apart and rebuild your tech. We're saying, name your vital few and map where they already live. That alone brings a huge sense of clarity. Clarity achieved, right, Nova?
Clarity achieved indeed. Once you have that list, your control room can be as simple as a single spreadsheet or dashboard that pulls those metrics into one view. We'll talk tools later, but the mindset is this. If a number isn't tied to a real decision you make each week, it probably doesn't belong in your control room yet.
That part is huge, because one of the biggest risks with dashboards is the Christmas tree problem. They look so pretty with a million lights and graphs, but nobody actually uses them to decide anything. So if you're scribbling notes, 6 to 10 metrics across sales, marketing, operations, and every single one should answer a question like, are we healthy? Or where are we leaking money? Or can we handle more demand right now?
And remember, you can always add complexity later. For week 1, most owners are better off under-tracking than over-tracking. Focus beats volume.
All right, we've got the skeleton. A short list of vital numbers in one place. Now we're going to add the voice, because numbers alone are like a movie with no soundtrack. They're technically all there, but humans love this stuff when it becomes a story. So let's move into segment 2, turning dry numbers into narrative. This is where AI really shines as your business narrator, your daily briefing partner, your tell me what matters assistant.
And this is also where a lot of owners either overcomplicate the tech or underutilize it. The goal is not to have AI generate a 50-page report every morning. The goal is a short, human-friendly summary that highlights what changed, what's working, and what needs your attention.
Yes. Think of it like this. Your AI should hand you a one-page story, not a textbook. Here's a simple structure you can use for your daily or weekly AI briefing. First, the headline. 1 or 2 sentences that answer, how did we do overall? Then, 3 bullet-style sections, wins, risks, and suggested next moves. For example, imagine your AI says, overall, sales held steady this week, but lead volume dropped by 18%, mainly from Google Ads. Win, your email campaign drove more repeat purchases than usual. Risk, ad costs are up while leads are down. Next moves. Pause the lowest performing ad group, shift budget to the best performing keyword, and resend your highest converting email to non-openers. That's not just data, that's a story with a plot and a to-do list.
And you can get there with well-designed prompts. You don't need to say anything fancy. Something like, "You are my business analyst. Here are today's key metrics from sales, marketing, and operations. Summarize performance in 3 short sections. 1. Overall headline. 2. Top 3 wins and risks. 3. 3 concrete actions I should consider this week. Keep it under 250 words and avoid jargon."
Create Teller, unlocked with one prompt. And notice that last part, avoid jargon. Your control room briefing should sound like you explaining it to a smart friend over lunch, not a consultant billing you by the slide.
There's also a psychological benefit. When AI turns scattered metrics into a consistent narrative structure, headline, wins, risks, next moves, it trains your brain and your team to think in patterns. Over time, you'll find yourself asking better questions because you can see cause and effect more clearly.
And for anyone worried, but what if the AI gets it wrong? Here's the truth. The numbers are still yours. The AI is not making final decisions. It's making a first draft of your thinking. You skim the briefing, sanity check it against what you know, and then you choose what to act on.
Exactly. Pattern detected, recommendation offered. Human decides. That balance is key.
Okay, so we've imagined the experience. Let's get practical about building it on a small business budget. This is where we channel our inner Stryker, our AI Chief Technology Officer, who loves taking big ideas and wiring them up with the simplest tools possible.
Let's walk through a no-stress, no-code setup path. Level 1. The Spreadsheet Control Room. You create a simple Google Sheet or Excel file with a tab for your key metrics. Each row is a date, say each day or each week. Each column is one of your vital metrics: revenue, leads, conversion rate, website visits, complaints, and so on. For the first week, you or a team member can even enter these numbers manually once a day or once a week. It might take 10 minutes. The point is to prove the value of seeing everything in one place before you automate anything.
Yes, manual first, magic later. You'd be amazed how powerful it feels just to see 4 weeks of key numbers in one simple table. That alone often reveals, oh wow, every time we increase leads, fulfillment time slips, or whenever we send that newsletter, appointments spike 2 days later. Humans love this stuff when the patterns finally show up.
Level 2 is to connect simple tools. Many platforms, like payment processors, CRMs, or ad platforms, let you export data or connect directly to a dashboard tool like Google Looker Studio, Power BI, or even a specialized small business dashboard app. You don't need to wire them all at once. Start with the 1 or 2 that matter most, often sales and leads.
And then we sprinkle in the AI connector. That could be as lightweight as copying yesterday's or last week's metrics from your spreadsheet into an AI chat and pasting in the prompt Nova shared. Or if you're a little more adventurous, you can use tools that connect spreadsheets directly to AI to generate your briefing automatically.
Here's a simple workflow you can imagine for week 1. Day 1. Define your metrics and map where they live. Day 2. Build your basic spreadsheet or dashboard. Days 3 and 4, start entering data and test a few AI prompts to generate your summary. Day 5. Refine the prompt so the tone and format match how you like to think. Day 6. Share the briefing with your team. Day 7. Decide what to automate next.
Notice what's missing from that plan. There is no lose 3 weeks building the perfect system before you see any value. You're getting insight by day 3. You're having a team conversation by day 6. That's a fast win for something that can completely shift how you operate.
And it directly addresses one of our big risks, feeling intimidated by dashboards and integrations. When you start with manual entries and a simple AI prompt, you prove the concept before you invest in automation. It's a staircase, not a cliff.
Now, let's borrow a page from Pulse, our AI Chief Operations Officer, and talk about making this a habit instead of a 1-week science project you abandon.
Pulse would say, a system is only as good as the rhythm you wrap around it. So let's design a simple daily and weekly rhythm for your AI control room. Daily, or at least a few times a week, you have a 5-minute briefing ritual. You open your control room, skim the latest metrics, read the AI summary, and answer 3 questions. What surprised me? What needs a decision today? Who on my team needs to see this?
Then there's your weekly control room meeting. It does not have to be fancy. 30 minutes, same time each week. You may be a key team member or 2. The agenda is simple. First, review the AI's weekly summary. Second, pick the 2 or 3 decisions you're actually going to make. Third, log those decisions so future you can see what you did and what happened.
That decision log is a quiet superpower. It can be as simple as another tab in your spreadsheet with columns for date, decision, reason, and outcome. Over time, you'll see patterns in your own judgment. You'll notice, for example, that when you reacted to one bad day of data, it rarely paid off. But when you responded to a 3-week trend, it often did.
Okay, let's put the whole 1-week implementation plan in plain language. If you're listening in your car, just let this sink in. If you're at your desk, grab a sticky note and sketch this out with me. Day 1. Pick your 6 to 10 vital metrics across sales, marketing, and operations and write down where each one lives. Day 2. Build your simple control room, one spreadsheet or dashboard that lists those metrics with space to fill them in. Day 3. Fill in at least the last 7 days or last 4 weeks of data so you have some history.
Day 4. Take those numbers and paste them into your AI tool with a prompt like, "Act as my business analyst. Here are my key metrics over time. Summarize performance with a headline, top wins, top risks, and 3 actions I should consider. Then refine that prompt until the tone feels right."
Day 5. Schedule your first 15-minute control room check-in with yourself. Read the AI summary, pick 1 or 2 actions, and note them. Day 6. Invite a teammate, maybe your operations lead or your head of sales, to a short weekly control room meeting and share the briefing with them. Day 7. Decide on one small automation you'll add next month, like connecting one data source directly into your dashboard.
By the end of that week, you don't just have a dashboard. You have a living control room with a rhythm, a narrative, and a decision trail. That's a fundamentally different way to run a business, even if all you used was a spreadsheet and an AI prompt.
All right, let's land this with 3 immediate actions you can take as soon as this episode ends, so your AI control room starts to become real, not just inspirational noise. Action 1. Choose your 6 to 10 metrics. Not someday, today. Sales, marketing, operations. If you're stuck, go with revenue, new leads, conversion rate, website or foot traffic, customer complaints, and on-time delivery. Write them down and map where each one lives.
Action 2. Create a single place for them to live. Open a new spreadsheet, name it Control Room Week 1, and create your table. Even if all you do later is copy-paste from your tools into that sheet, you now have one source of truth.
Action 3. Draft your first AI briefing prompt. Doesn't have to be perfect. Something like, "You are my business co-pilot. Here are my core business metrics for the last 4 weeks. Explain what's going well, what I should worry about, and 3 specific actions I should consider this week in under 250 words in plain English." Paste in your numbers and see what happens. You can always tweak from there.
If you want a little extra help, like a starter metric map and prompt templates to copy and paste, we've put together a simple resource for you on the Apex Blue site. It's designed specifically for small and medium businesses who are ready to stop guessing and start briefing themselves like a real C-suite.
So head over to apexblue.ai after this episode. Look for the AI Control Room resources, grab the templates, and start your 1-week build. You do not need another year of guessing. You just need 1 week of focused clarity.
You're closer than you think. One dashboard, a handful of metrics, and an AI that speaks your language can change how every day starts in your business.
Thanks for listening to Navigating AI with Apex Blue. Build your control room, get your briefing, and as always, stay smart, stay curious, and stay ahead.